9 o'clock, so I'll call the meeting to order. First item of business is adoption of the agenda. So a couple things. We spent a fair bit of time yesterday in agenda review. We're going to juggle things around a little bit informally as we go in the interests of getting as much information in front of council before you finally consider budget. So informally, what we're thinking of doing is we'll do the 2 rec reports, considering the washroom expenditures. Councillor Griggs notice a motion. Then we'll do the closed session, then we'll go to budget, and thereby hopefully you guys will have decided, or at least heard information, let's say, on all those items that might inform you for budget. Of course, it's your meeting, so if at any point during that you're like, no, I just want to decide this one way or the other, you guys are free to put a motion on the floor as always and do that whatever you want with it. But we sort of thought that would be a way to get as much information available to you as possible before we get to budget, as opposed to doing budget and then kind of deciding other things in a different context. Is that broadly okay with everybody? Okay, so I do have a motion here to adopt the agenda, moved by Greg, seconded by Forbes, that the agenda be adopted as amended to include 10D, an update on ZRAC. All those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. And are there any declarations of pecuniary interest or the general nature thereof? Not seeing any. Minutes, moved by Forbes, seconded by Greg, that the minutes from the March 2nd, 2022 council meeting be adopted as printed and circulated. Any issues with those minutes? All those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. And nobody submitted for public comment period. Thank you. 9 o'clock, zone change application ZN5-22-01. Is there anybody here for this application? Not online or in person. Okay. So Spencer, I'll turn it over to you. Late night. Moved by Greg, seconded by Forbes, that council meeting be adjourned at 9:02 a.m. for the purposes of holding a public meeting pursuant to the provisions of the Planning Act. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And now, Spencer, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning to council, staff, and members of the public who are joining us today. The application before you for zone change is really a formalization of a presentation council had previously heard from Rural Oxford Economic Development Corporation. It applies to home daycare uses, and essentially what's outlined in the report for you is that there's a proposal to increase the number of children permitted as of right as a home occupation style daycare from 5 to 6 children. Beyond that, it is proposed and explained throughout the report that there will be a difference noted between a home daycare and a more formalized daycare center. That's outlined in the report. I am happy to answer any questions on that matter today for you.
Questions from council? And does the applicant wish to speak to their application? Anybody from the public want to speak to this? Okay. Moved by Forbes, seconded by Grigg, that pursuant to the Planning Act, the public meeting be adjourned at 9:03 a.m. That's the shortest public meeting for a planning application ever, I think. And the regular meeting of council be called back to order. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And moved by Grigg, seconded by Forbes, that the Council of the Township of Zorra approve the zone change application ZN5-22-01, whereby the definition of a daycare center as contained in section 4.31 of the zoning bylaw is amended to increase the minimum number of children accommodated from 6 to 7, and that section 5.14.8 of the zoning bylaw be amended to increase the number of children that can be accommodated at home daycare from 5 to 6. And do you want to speak to that? All those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Yes. Yes. We'll adjourn until you guys tell us you're ready to come back.